皆さんこんにちは。今回は YouTube チャンネル The PoterWay Podcast で井上尚弥選手について話していた部分を翻訳しました。The PoterWay Podcast は元世界王者のショーン・ポーター氏、アンソニー・ブレナ氏、ボクシングジャーナリストのショーン・ジッテル氏など複数のメンバーによって運営されています。今回のゲストは WBO 女子世界ウェルター級王者のミカエラ・メイヤー選手です。それでは早速見ていきましょう。
And Mikaela, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm in camp now, so still got a little bit of ways and time to go, but yeah, enjoying it, feeling good.
I told you before the show started, we gonna really get into Mikaela Mayer, but we gotta get to some things real quick, things that have gone on through the week in the boxing world. But you say you're back in camp. I know there's things that we can say, things we can't say. We'll try to flirt around with it as much as we can. Did you happen to catch Inoue's fight this week?
No, I did not wake up at 3 a.m. to watch that.
But there's still ways to find it. There's still ways to see it.
I watched it the next day on Instagram.
Okay, but everybody says that. Everybody goes to the same thing. No, I ain't getting up there. Hey, I found it. And when it was an opportune time.
Well, it was, all I needed to do is wake up and scroll through my reels and see that, he stopped him early on. So
yeah,
I was good.
One of the best in the world. There's no secret to that. But how do you compare him to everybody in the fight game right now?
No, I think he's definitely up there pound for pound. I mean, he's super explosive. He's stopping everybody.
Yeah.
He's a little bit less of a presence here in the United States, so it's hard to really follow him and become a huge fan. But no, definitely rate him. He's a great fighter.
You feel like he has to come here to the States?
I mean, this is he's obviously doing a great job in Japan, right? He doesn't necessarily need to. He's making the money. He's gonna, he's doing what he's got to do.
Yeah.
But there's a difference. I think there's something special about making it in the United States. It's a little bit more difficult. It's a harder market. So it's a challenge.
Yeah.
It's a challenge. If you really made it, you've made it in the United States.
And you've had 2 fights in England?
I've had 2 years of fighting in England.
2 years of fighting.
Yeah, I'm done with that.
So you done? You done?
Well, unless I have to down the line, but for now, yeah, back in America.
How was that experience opposed to fighting here in the States, though?
I really liked it. The UK audience really took well to me. They were really supportive. They're fun. I love the fan base there. They're a really great crowd to perform in front of. But I did miss fighting here in America and having my friends and family come and support, and then being able to fight on ESPN and just having it more accessible. And just being around my top-ranked family and everything. You're on a different promotion, different card. It's a different system. Everyone has a different way of going about the fight week. So I'm glad to be back in America. I really am.
Because they're so boxing crazy over there, though, did you actually get recognized more walking around in England than here?
Yeah, I mean, I did. I don't know about more. But I definitely felt the love there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The passion.
Yeah, for sure.
About. Yeah.
It's easy. I told you we was gonna get her. We're gonna all through this thing.
Yeah. Well, that's what you do.
He's sneaking in his questions too.
But to the point
he gonna clip it.
To the monster, Naoya Inoue took down Zoom Kim in 4 rounds.
Easy work.
Huh?
Easy work.
Well, replacement fight. Kim looked like he was forward though.
Well, yeah, he's physically strong.
Yeah,
and I think he believed in that. He believed in his chin a little bit
too much.
Yeah,
he got clipped.
But he was a minus 5,000 underdog for a reason. He was a late replacement, just not, and it went to script. And Inoue, like Mikaela said, is one of the most explosive fighters. I think Gervonta comes to mind too, but I think maybe the most explosive fighter in boxing. Do you think?
Yeah, no, definitely up there. Yeah, for sure. I just want to see him against people that we know.
Yes, in the States.
We can really compare. I think that's a lot of a problem right now with boxing is you don't. I mean, you're getting it with the women, obviously, but not so much with the men when it comes to what an equal level playing field for these fighters. There's always one person that is way ahead when it comes to the stats, who's going to win the fight. Everyone kind of knows who's going to win the fight.
At the betting odds.
Yeah, the betting odds. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Is there plans to bring him to America? Anybody?
Yeah, his next fight is in America.
His next fight?
Yeah, that's what Top
Thank
Rank
God.
said.
All
They
right.
confirmed it. And, the Americans, Angelo Leo, Bruce Carrington, they have to elevate themselves to where it's like you got to see that, particularly I think Carrington. I feel like Angelo Leo, for some reason, that might make more sense in Japan. For Angelo, he could make his life-changing money, maybe even more over there. But Bruce, I mean, we talked about it last year here on the show. He seems like the guy that, you know, if he can get his hands on a world title, maybe against Espinoza, Nick Ball, whoever, then that's the fight in New York, Madison Square Garden. Inoue can come to America, fight an American in the Garden, and I think a lot of people would be picking Carrington because he's young and got a lot of
right now,
talent.
I don't know if Carrington would be ready for Inoue, but or for Inoue. Like,
well, no, but I'm saying he has to go through a level to be ready for Inoue. Like,
that's what I'm saying. He still needs like a handful of fights to get ready for that. So we'll see. But obviously, I would love to see him go up against a top American name that we know, like Carrington, if he can continue to build his career and, you know, show out and do his thing, which he's been doing.
And you know, we celebrated Diggy's birthday yesterday, and Zittel walks up to me, and I was hearing a different language at first. Like, I didn't understand what he was talking about. But he said, you know what, Sean, I got to give you your flowers. And I'm like, all right, cool. And he's like, man, I'm telling you, man, I was watching this and that fighter.
Donald Curry.
Go ahead. Like, I
was watching, I was watching Donald Curry against Milton McCrory and Lloyd Hunnigan.
Pause. And I'm like, he's throwing some names at me. And I'm like... I'm like, okay, let me go with this. Go ahead.
And then I watched, because Pacheco was getting ready to fight. And Pacheco, we know his frame, tall, you know, fighter. And I'm like, let me watch Michael Nunn, too, just to see how it's done. Like, to give, like, Pacheco, okay, what should Pacheco be doing? Well, let me watch someone with his frame that did it at the highest level. Anyways, I'm watching all these fights, and I start watching Michael Nunn and James Toney.
先ほど出てきたドナルド・カリー、ミルトン・マックロリー、ロイド・ハニガンは、1980年代に活躍したボクサーで、3社とも世界ウェルター級王者に輝いています。この中で長身と言えるのはマックロリーであり、ショーン・ジッテルはドナルド・カリー vs ミルトン・マックロリーで、長身のマックロリーがどのようにして敗れたのか、そしてその勝者であるカリーが、ロイド・ハニガン vs ドナルド・カリーで、どのように敗れたのか、その流れを見ていたのだと思います。また、ジェームズ・トニー vs マイケル・ナンは IBF 世界ミドル級タイトルマッチとして行われ、188センチメートルの長身で知られたナンは、すでに5度の防衛に成功していましたが、11ラウンド KO 負けでトニーに王座を奪われました。一方、パチェコはスーパーミドル級で戦う身長193センチメートル、戦績23勝 18KO 無敗。23歳という若さもあり、スーパーミドル級のスター候補とされています。ショーン・ジッテルは、このような長身選手がどのようにして敗れるのかを分析していたようですね。そして、その過程で、あることに気づくことになります。そのあることとは何なのでしょうか。
And I'm like, man, the pace, no disrespect to the sport now, but it feels like on average, the pace in these fights has come down
so much.
A lot. And I'm not even just talking about punches thrown. I mean, if they weren't punching, they were feinting. They were doing something. And a lot of times in those fights, what made them so great was both fighters were doing everything right at the same time. And that's where you get those amazing high-level exchanges is the tall guy's doing exactly what he's picking, the exact punches he's supposed to on the outside. The shorter guy's doing exactly what he's supposed to do to get past those shots on the, and so it's just, and I gave Sean credit because I said, you were cut from that cloth. If you weren't punching, you were in and out, you were feinting, you were setting up something else in the distance, and yeah, that was my props to Sean. And
right.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, thank you. I was like, I was a little lost. It took, you walked away and I started to kind of like ingest everything that you said. I was like, all right, cool. Like, it makes me feel good to know that.
Yeah.
But then I watched Inoue's fight and I'm like, I'm listening, I'm hearing what you were saying to me. I'm like, yo, Inoue's cut from that cloth of being a throwback fighter that's explosive, that's fast, that's sharp, that is accurate, that knows what he wants to do as a dictator at all times. Even in moments where he's giving his fighter the room to do something, it's like, I'm giving this to you because I want to create something, you know what I mean? And I thought about what you said after you said it to me. I was like, well, you gotta put Inoue in that same category. And I wanted to hear your take on that. He, to me, is a true throwback fighter.
Oh yeah, no, and his footwork is a little underrated. Not only like his base when he throws power shots and how incredible his balance and technique, the combination of power and speed, but even fleet of foot.
He's so balanced. Did you use that word?
Yeah.
Like he's so balanced. Like when I watch him move, it's like this. You never see him teeter. There was one point he threw a punch and he missed. That's a teeter there. But you know, and I saw that too, where there were moments where he got a little lazy against Kim.
He's not perfect. Like his chin's up sometimes. He could be
got a little lazy, but for the most part, I was like, yo, this dude is dynamite.
He's amazing. He's special.
Yeah. Gotta give it to him. And then
although you know, like 23 was amazing. He became undisputed. He knocked out Fulton. I think a lot of us thought that was gonna be a competitive fight because Fulton's really good. But 24, he fought Neri, but it's like, okay, it's been a minute now since you, like, to your point about wanting to see him fight names. It's like, okay, well, you should fight Junto Nakatani. But now he's doing what Canelo did to Benavidez and what Crawford did to Ennis. Like, I don't really want to give this young guy a shot. I want to move up and do other fights. And I get that, but hey, Inoue, fight Nakatani. People want to see that. And
I do want to see that.
If you're going to stick around 22, otherwise go up to 26 and let's see those challenges at 26. If you're going to stick around 22, fight Nakatani.
Yeah.